the Bearded Bros podcast on the Titan Sports Network.
Two bearded dudes sitting in a pod, talking sports, never really bored. From football to basketball, they dive deep, laughing and debating, making us keep. They share their thoughts, no matter how wild. In a room filled with beard and pride, the refs might not understand, but they know what's right. No need to explain. The Bearded Bros, they're the best. Podcast fun with no rest. Sports talk with a side of jest. Laugh and learn as they say. They're not afraid to disagree. In a world of sports, they'll always be free. Bearded wisdom, you can rely. In their podcast, you won't feel shy. Through wins and losses, they stay true. Discussing every play through and through. Their passion for games is clear to see. In their chatter, we all agree. The Bearded Bros, they're the best. Podcast fun with no rest. Sports talk with a side of jest. Laugh and learn as they say. They're not just talk, they act too. Making jokes, giving us a clue. The Bearded Bros, they're the crew. Podcast fun till the very end, you knew. Bearded Bros, they're the crew. Podcast fun till the very end, you knew.
What is going on, everyone? This is the Bearded Bros on the Titan Sports Network. I'm Dustin, and with me tonight, I have the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Casey.
Yes, but the network MVP coming in clutch tonight.
The network MVP.
The remix schedule. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. But it's you take the lead, man. It's all you. Right. I'm following you.
Yeah. So I just want to start off by saying there have been some changes made to the Bearded Bros. My co-host Derek has decided to step away for his own reasons, and me, and the network wish him luck with whatever he has going on in his life, and we wish him nothing but the best, and hope every now and again he tunes in and watches us still. But man, we got a pretty cool show tonight. We have a guest with us. Super excited to talk with her about her journey. And then we are going to talk about some Big 12 conference, the Big 12 conference and Conference USA and college football, breaking those conferences down for this upcoming season. Rangers are finally getting it together, at least for me, because they're my favorite baseball team. And then we have a big announcement tonight at the end of the show about I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to say nothing else. Big announcement. So, with that being said, we are going to get our guest in here, and we're going to get talking with her about where she is now and her journey up until where she is.
What a tease right there, by the way.
I know. I had to do that.
That was professional.
I had to, man. I can't. I got to keep everyone on their toes for the next at least hour.
Hook 'em. Bring them in. And I don't, exactly. I don't like saying hook 'em. So,
yeah.
That was unintentional.
I came in with a new 40 Glock. Fuck on your bitch, make that hoe want a milli rock. I'm with my boys and no, we do not milli rock. Funny money, no, this is not no silly guap. Got a richer milli, this not a silly walk. All this money make me want hit my diddy bop. Tell her at the bank, I'm just give me lock. At the dealer, I can't pull this shit off the lot. Me and my boys, you know that we sharing thoughts. I got niggas that be moving to Tan Rock. That's the end of that, no, I cannot talk a lot. Man, these niggas out here, I swear they talk.
Kameron.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening and join us. So let's just take us back where all this started. Take us way back. I want to go way back. We want to go all the way back.
Okay. So I started playing basketball when I was about 3, 4, 5. One of those. I played at the Y, and my team name was called the Skittles. And we ate Skittles after every game, truthfully. I played for them for a couple of years, and then I got into AAU.
Yeah.
I started out at the top. Like I started out with are y'all familiar with like EYBL, GUA, and stuff like that? So I started.
I'm not, but
You're
I'm
not?
assuming that's travel ball teams, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The circuit,
Okay.
the circuit.
Yeah. I know
So,
exactly what you're talking about now.
I
Yeah.
played for one of like my hometown team. It was like we were called Powerhouse, and I'm from Arlington, born and raised, and then Arlington, Texas, in Dallas. But I mean,
Okay.
it's right outside Dallas. But yeah, I played for Powerhouse, and I played for them for a couple of years. And I moved, and I played with that same group. We ended up playing together for like at least four years, at least. And we all grew up together, and then we all ventured off into our own little teams. And I played for Sci-Fair, I played for Pro Skills, and then by the time I got to like middle school, like 8th grade, and then high school is kind of where I kind of like stick to one team. So, but other than that, I've been playing basketball my whole life. Like I've had
Where'd you go to high school at?
my first 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, I went to Arlington Seguin. And then
Okay.
my junior and senior year, I transferred and went to Trinity Christian in Cedar Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did can you speak on your recruitment?
Yes.
Okay.
It was slow because I graduated in 22, and so essentially I was a COVID kid, not really, but I was kind of in the middle of it. But like coming into my senior year, I had nothing. Like I didn't even have like anything close to an offer. I had interest, but it was nothing like to the point of like, here, we're gonna offer you and you can come play with us. No. So by the time my senior year came, I was like, okay, I got to do something because my parents can't pay for school. So I remember a couple JUCOs offered me a JUCO in Oregon. That's where they were, in Oregon.
Oh wow.
They offered me. They came down. They watched practice. I didn't go there, obviously, but yeah, I ended up getting offered by a D3 in Chicago. I mean, it's right outside of Chicago in River Forest, and I stuck with them for 2 years, and my coach left, so I left, and then I ended up in Abilene at Hardin Simmons, and yeah, that was
That was an experience. Huh?
Yeah, it was an experience. I can talk a little bit about it, but I mean, it depends on the questions you ask.
Well, let's go to Chicago.
Okay,
I want to talk about Chicago. We'll start there. We'll go light. Well, I'm going to assume that was a tough move, all the way from down here all the way up there, or was it kind of smooth?
It was smooth because growing up, I traveled a lot. Like it was growing up. My mom still works. She works for the airlines, so we traveled. Like even before she was working there, like we traveled a lot. Like I was always on a plane. I was always in a car, and it wasn't like going to like, I don't know, like Tyler. It was going to like Shreveport, Atlanta. We rode in a car to Vegas. Like we were always traveling. So I had been to Chicago a few times before I moved in my freshman year. I had never been when it was cold though. So
yeah, I bet that cold ain't nothing like it is.
Yeah, it was different. Like it was different. I remember my first time experiencing the winter. I went to class with a comforter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, you can't be from here. I was like, no, not at all. Like,
I'm from the heat, not from the cold.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Like, it's September and we still wear shorts and a t-shirt. Like,
what was your 2 years there? What was that experience like? How was the team? What was y'all success, and how was your success?
Team success in 2 years, we only won 4 games. So, it is what it is. I mean, personally though, I got everything I ever wanted. Like I was freshman of the year, MVP of the team for both years, second team all conference, anything like that you could have ever asked for personally. Like I broke, I think like six or 8 records in 2 years. But it was no team success. And I mean, you take the good with the bad. But I mean,
Right.
my teammates, like to this day, like we still talk and we still talk about how like, dang, like we really lost every game.
No, sometimes it's that way. I mean,
Yeah,
Casey here he is used to coach basketball, so I'm sure he's experienced the highs and lows as well.
Yeah.
So so was that move from up Chicago back down to Texas? Was that because of the coaching change, or were you just ready for something new?
A part of it was, but I was really ready for something new. Like I wanted to be challenged more. Like I felt like, okay, I'm getting everything I want personally, but I want team success. Like I don't want to be that person that was, oh, she can do it all by herself, but she can't win a game. So
Right.
I wanted to be somebody who, like, I was a difference maker, but we weren't winning. So it was like, okay, like I got to go somewhere where I can do this and also win a game. And I did that. I was actually on my way to Pittsburgh before I went to Abilene. And
what happened with that? If you can speak on it.
I changed my mind. That's it.
Okay.
Again, I told like my mom and everybody like that was a part of my recruiting process. I was just like, I really want to be. I mean, it was. How do I put it? Like it was ideal to be closer to home. Like I mean, Abilene is only like 2.5 hours away. So
yeah, it's not far.
Yeah, it's not far, and somebody can get to me if needed.
Right.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna take my chances and I'm gonna go to Abilene. I'm gonna go to Hardin Simmons, and that was that. I mean,
well, let's talk about it as much as you want to. How was that year for you and the team? And then what you want to say about that?
Okay, for myself, it was very humbling. Like I'm just put it. That's the word I would use. It was very humbling. It made me reflect on myself and tell myself like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Why am I in this predicament? I came down and I can speak on it a little bit, but I came down and I was excited. Like I was like, you know what? This is a winning program. Like they had been to the year prior, they had been to the Sweet 16. So I was like, okay, like we're about to, I want to be the difference maker to get you guys over the hump. Like I want to, I want to go past the Elite Eight. Like I want to go all the way. You already been there, so let's go like all the way. So I was excited. Like I came in, I was a sponge, and I'm gonna be honest, like things just took a turn by the time practice came. And we went to Oregon and Seattle for a tournament, and we came back and I had a conversation with the coach and I was in the transfer portal.
Oh wow.
Right. And I had only been there for 8 games and I didn't play a minute. I think I played like 3 minutes in one game. And
Wow.
I was kind of like devastated. I was like, whoa, like, hold on. Like I just went from being on top of the world to literally being at rock bottom. So I was in the transfer portal from December to about April. Yeah.
And it led you to where you are now, which is at St. Thomas.
It led me to St. Thomas. I went through a lot of, my phone it wasn't blowing up like it was when I left Dominican because I was in the transfer portal in the middle of the year. Mm-hmm. But I definitely still got opportunities to go, if I wanted to go there, I could. I reached out to million and one coaches. But I'm excited about where I'm about to go. Like that's something I'm excited. The coach, she's awesome. Like her mindset, the way she runs her team. She had D1 experience. And the level that I'm trying to reach, I think she can help me.
Yeah, so is this your last year of eligibility?
Yes.
So this is your last year.
Yes, this is my last year.
And what are you majoring in? Business
marketing.
That's not a bad one.
Nope.
That's a pretty good one to major in.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're in the off season. What's the off season been like, and what's the expectations going into next year for y'all?
Off season has been since I was in the transfer portal early, so
right.
I had my fair share. Like I gave myself 48 hours. I was like, you cry, get over it. After that, you gotta keep it pushing. Like don't nobody care about your feelings. So I did all, I was like, you know what? I'm in Abilene because I still had to go to school. So I was
right.
like, let's just make sure my grades are okay to wherever I'm going next. And just train your butt off to wherever you go. And I trained at least 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. I found a trainer. I remember because I don't know. I had never been to Abilene till I went to school there ever in life. And I've lived in Texas my whole life. And I found a trainer. I looked on Google and I found a trainer. I was like, basketball trainers near me.
Wow.
I found Coach B, and at Watch Me Work. And he's probably watching, but he
Shout out to
definitely,
Coach Bryant.
yeah, Coach B, he definitely took me under his wing, and I reached out and I was like, I'm just trying to get better. Like wherever I go next, I'm just trying to make sure I'm intact. So he texted me every day and was like, come work out, come do this. I'm doing this. I'm at the gym, whatever. And when I could, I would. And then Aaron, he was my strength and conditioning coach. And I was with him almost 5 to 6 days a week for weights and conditioning and all that. So I was with them from at least December to about the middle of July. So like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Well, what are your expectations going into next year in your playing time? Because obviously your experience in Abilene didn't go the way you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Are you going to assume that's going to be a better experience here at St. Thomas for yourself and the team?
I do. I think I get to play with somebody that I played little AAU with a couple of years ago. Well, when I was younger, when I was in middle school. And I'm excited. Just personally, I think I'm excited because I think I'm one of the oldest. So I've never been in a situation where I'm a transfer, but I'm one of the oldest. So it's kind of like your expectation is to come in and lead. But like, if you don't lead, they're looking at you like, okay, you're a little kid, and you're immature. But I'm definitely excited about the competition we're playing because they play, I think on our schedule, we play like 2 to 3 D1s a year.
Okay.
So we definitely play high level competition, and her practices are like pro level practices. So I'm excited. Like she's one of those coaches. Like if you don't go hard enough, then you don't need to be here.
Right. I mean, you gotta work hard to get to where you want to be. I got a question. Who's someone you model your game after? Who would you compare to your game to if you had anybody, whether it's NBA, WNBA, anybody? Who's that person you like watching play to kind of learn their game and you try to mirror that game?
Growing up, my favorite WNBA player was Skylar Diggins, who plays for Seattle now. My favorite NBA player was LeBron. He still is. But I like LeBron just because of his character. My game, I would definitely say I idolize Chelsea Gray that plays for the Aces.
Okay.
Just her point guard skills, like her vision, her way to not only just pass the ball, but control the floor. Like I tell coaches, like the way I look at myself is I'm a floor general. So everything kind of goes through me. After it goes through me, then you disperse it and you set everybody up. I'm like the quarterback of the offense. So,
right.
And that's kind of Chelsea Gray is a big one. Like I've been watching for a minute.
Oh yeah, I love the Aces. I'm a big San Antonio Spurs fan, so I followed the women's side as well, and I followed them when they were in San Antonio. So I love. She's a great player. Well, something I like to ask towards the end of this is it's a 2-question part, but I mean, if you don't want to answer them, it's perfectly fine. It's nothing super crazy, but if you got that one phone call to play your last year at anywhere in the nation, where would you want to play at? Any school, your dream school, whatever it might be.
I go to South Carolina with Dawn.
I mean, it's not a bad choice. No.
I either go with her or Duke to play with.
I'm surprised you didn't say Texas for some reason or somewhere in Texas. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I'm good.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with South Carolina. They have, Dawn Staley is phenomenal. She was a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
And she's a phenomenal coach, and she has built something in South Carolina, and they're always in the mix every year. Always. I think she's a great coach. They just ran into a team this year that was destined to win.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. I mean, I love Chloe Kitts. And I believe, didn't they get her sister this year? Didn't she transfer
No,
there?
I think she ended up going to Ohio State.
Oh, she did. I thought she was coming in South Carolina. I saw her in them pictures in South Carolina gear. Man,
I thought the same thing because I was like, that would be dope if they got. Because her sister, I think she's taller than Chloe.
Yeah, she's tall.
Yeah.
She's real tall.
I
Yeah,
think she's like 6'6".
Well, what's my last question is what's some advice you would give to the younger athletes or younger women trying to get on this grind and really get up and go to college and play basketball or any sport? What's some advice you'd give to them to keep going?
Never get discouraged. Don't ever let somebody close that door for you forever. I don't care what door closes, you come back down and you kick it down. Like, don't let somebody close your door. So that, and also just keep your grades up. I wish if I could go back like to my freshman year of high school, I would do it. I would do everything the same. I would just change my study habits. Keep your grades.
It's always good to be a student athlete.
Yes,
like an actual student athlete.
Grades get you money. Before you have athletic abilities, grades get you money.
That is I agree completely with you on that. Well, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to join us. And I'm gonna keep in touch with you, and I'm gonna keep up with your season and follow you. And I would like to have you on after this season to see how it went.
Yeah.
And just kind of talk about it and maybe what you're doing next. I know you're going to be graduating, so kind of talk about that and see what you do with the rest of your life and your career.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right, Mr. Casey.
I mean, I was ready. I had questions written down. I was ready. I'm just saying. I was prepared in case you threw it my way. So,
well, I was just going. Hey, man, you can chime in whenever, anytime.
You were rolling. I mean, man.
I was rolling, man.
If my man Parker Hillis is watching, this is what the second guy looks like on the radio. Nah, man, that was good. The only thing I was going to ask was what was the biggest difference you saw between high school and college basketball? I think when you start talking about messages to younger players and younger athletes, I don't think they really understand how level it goes up in college. Like she was talking, like when she stepped away at Hardin, like she was training 2 or 3 times a day, and just to get an opportunity ultimately to go to St. Thomas. So, shout out to our boy Nick in the comment section, by the way.
Hey Nick, appreciate you hopping in, man. So hey Nick, I need you and Josh to be here towards the end. I got something for y'all.
Yeah,
be here.
Yeah,
be here, man.
Yeah, so I think that's a great message, and I love that she responded immediately with grades.
Yes,
I'm not gonna put his name out there because he just graduated. So, but where I was just at, there's a kid who we had on our team who, super athlete. Kid could jump out of the gym. He's about 6'5", 6'6". Post player, fought through a lot of stuff, and thought he, there was one day he was supposed to go on a visit. The visit got pushed back. The day he's supposed to leave for the visit, the school gets his grades and denied his application to get into the school. So the coach called him that morning while they're about to leave to go on the plane and say, "Don't waste your time. Don't come up here." And so the grades thing is a massive thing.
It is. I mean, you got to be a student athlete. Like, I think Casey, I know you could probably speak on this more than me because you have been in like that school sports system for so long. I think a lot of these athletes that are really good, not all of them, but some of them tend to kind of not really focus on the grades because they think their athletic ability, how good they are will take them as far as they want to go. But in college, it doesn't work that way. If you can't pass your classes, well, you can't play. Technically you'll be ineligible to play. It's no different than. And now I don't know if it's that way in high school still. I know
It
if you
is.
don't have it is. So it's the same way. So to me, sometimes it's surprising to hear that kids, like you just had an example of someone like you don't care about your grades, you only care about the sport when you really need to be caring about both of them.
Well,
To
and
be able to
here's the thing:
succeed.
what happens with a lot of those the kids in high school is a lot of them get enabled, whether it's by mom and dad, whether it's by teachers being lax on them.
Yep.
You know, this particular kid at our school that I was at, he showed up to first period like 3 times all second semester, and the teacher just found it easier to just pass him. So he never showed up to
Mm.
first. He should have been truant throughout the year, and you know, it's unfortunate that that happened. All right, you know, there's thousands of kids in the school. You know, as a teacher, you sometimes you pick your battles. I totally get that, but these kids, you know, then the world hits them. You know, I posted a thing on my TikTok. You may have seen it. I'm not sure, but I've applied for 61 jobs over the last month. 19,000 people have applied for those same 61 jobs. Like life's a competition. It's competitive, and you have to put in your work. And when you get into a habit of complacency, as some of these high school athletes and college athletes do, the world's going to hit you in the mouth at some point.
Yeah, I mean you're not right, man. I think that you've got to be able to do both. And something I wanted to ask you about that I didn't even mention to you that it just forgot. I mean, I've known about it, and I don't know if it's this way in any other state because I know it just happened here. What are your thoughts on in Texas schools not allowing to have cell phones on campus during school hours?
Love it. I think
agree.
the cell phone is the worst damn thing that's happened to education.
I agree.
So I got into this. You might want to holler at your boy Steve. No, the cell phones in classrooms, they're distracting, and so when I got into this 11 years, when I got into teaching 11 years ago, in coaching, or I was coaching before then, but man, it's just all kinds of issues. It's distraction. It's you know, it takes away social skills from the kids because they don't, you know, I told the kids one time, I would rather have y'all talking to each other, being loud in my classroom rather than be dead silent and all you guys on your phone. Like, so that rule, I loved it. Obviously, I just walked away from the profession like 3 weeks ago. So I won't get to see the benefit of that, but I think it was, I know Montgomery ISD in this area where I'm at went to it last year before that. You know, and schools that have done it before have actually, you know, reported higher test scores and all the metrics that, you know, parents think are important. I'm not a big fan of test scores are that important, and they don't tell me that you're smart. It just tells me you may be able to guess better than anyone else. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, excuse me. I mean, I think, cell phones in general life or a distraction. You know, I mean, schooling is big, especially in high school. It carries you to your next adventure in life. High school does what you do in high school, whether it's sports or academics. And I think what has happened is, like you said, there has been success when you said Montgomery kind of took it away, and there's been analytics that show when there's not cell phones allowed, the students are doing better in the classroom, and that's what you're there for. You're not there to be on your phone.
Yeah, and here's the other side of it is my frustration with that whole process, and not that, I mean, we are a sports network and we're kind of getting in the weeds of this a little bit, but you know, I think most people who watch us are parents, and you know, the people I was dealing with on the other side was parents. Is like some parents argue, what if I can't get a hold of my kid? Well, you're the parent that's texting your kid during class and expecting them to respond, and the kid is freaking out because you get angry at the kid for not responding, and the kid gets in trouble for responding in class. Like, here's my biggest frustration is every parent in the United States right now, with very rare exception, went to school without cell phones. And the world went on. If there was an emergency, the school would get your kid. There's a whole system in place, and we've kind of forgotten that. So cell phones out of the classroom, 100% support it. I think academically you'll see the benefits. I think socially you'll see the benefit, and I really think that's the biggest one of social impact.
Yes,
with especially coming out of COVID, 4 or 5 years ago, kids got put behind in that aspect, and I think giving them the opportunity to socialize, and also what you see is less fights in schools that don't have these cell phones in, because they can't coordinate. I can't tell you how many times I see a kid looking at a phone, and then 3 seconds later, like, can I go to the bathroom? And now you got 30 kids out of the going to the bathroom from 30 different classrooms in your building, and you have a brawl in the first level, restroom or whatever. Parents don't want to believe that stuff happens in schools, and 100% happens, and it's coordinated. And so I'm a fan of it. I think it'll be for the benefit of the kid, for the teacher, for overall academics. And I think a lot of people forget high school athletics and high school academics are there to give you the basic skills to be successful after. Like, it's not the end all be all. You go to college to get in depth. You take U.S. history your junior year, which I taught, to learn about U.S. history post Civil War, to get you learn lessons, maybe get you interested. Then you go to college to take a World War II class or a Vietnam class, or if that's the route you went. So a lot of people,
exactly.
They don't. But all right, let's get off good old serious education talk.
And, I know you've been doing it for too long. I just thought about that, and I wanted your opinion because you were kind of in that school system, and I wanted to get someone. Well, you was in it.
Technically, I'm still getting paid right now, so.
Well, man, we're going to talk about some college football. We were starting to break down conferences up until the big weekend, which is about a month-ish away or so. And tonight we're going to talk about the Big 12 and the Conference USA. And so with that being said, we'll start off with Conference USA. Obviously, here's your schools. If I remember correct, well, for one, Kennesaw State was new to this conference last year, and they won maybe 2 games, but they had one of the biggest wins all season this conference, and they beat Liberty, which really just messed up their whole season. And now, when I look at this conference, we have a couple guys actually that were on the show that are going to a couple of these schools here. And one's going to be a quarterback at LA Tech, and the other one's going to UTEP to be a corner, I believe. And so that being said, I'm kind of looking at this conference here, and I'm kind of see where Liberty goes because they lost their quarterback, Caden Slater. He is in Colorado now. So kind of what does that team do? And for me, I also look at Kennesaw State. What are they going to look like in their second year being in D1? Because they were, I don't understand the struggle coming into. I don't know what they were before, but I'm assuming probably a D3 if I had to guess, because I don't know what qualifications you have to make that jump to D1. But can they get better this year? And then you have UTEP, which obviously is right there on the border of Texas. Kind of see what they do this year. I think that they have an opportunity to be really good this year with what they've brought in. By the way, have you ever seen that stadium?
Which one?
UTEP.
I have.
It's in the mountains. That is really cool. When I saw it for the first time, I thought that was the most neatest stadium I've ever seen. I think Colorado is kind of that way too, if I'm right. But yeah, it's a pretty neat little stadium. But when I kind of look at this, even got Middle Tennessee. I'm trying to figure out who is going to, just based off of what it's been the last couple of years, who's going to compete with Liberty this year, because they've always been at the top of this conference for the last probably 3 years or so. And a lot of that was of Caden Slater. He was a really good quarterback, and I really hated to see him leave because I thought because they were actually at the beginning of the last season, they were projected to be one of the final teams in the playoff if they had the season that everyone had expected them to have. And with that loss to Kennesaw State, it really just shut them down. They had no chance. Obviously, you lose to Kennesaw State, who was atrocious in their first year in D1. I'm wanting to see who makes the jump here. Is it going to be Liberty on top still, or does LA Tech kind of, they didn't have a great season. They ended up getting a bowl game due to the Marshall team, that whole fiasco, everyone leaving, literally transfer portal. And I actually got to watch them play in person when they played Army last year, or at the Independence Bowl over there in Shreveport. And they pretty much got tore up by Army as expected, because Army was insane with that quarterback they had.
Yeah.
I'm just it. Yeah,
you can't talk about the Black Knights without me talking.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that on the last show. Was who's taking over that conference of theirs? Is Navy going to finally make that jump? Because Navy still has what's his name, Horvath, I think that's his name, the quarterback.
Yeah, the quarterback. It's like when you talk UT stuff, I gotta say something about A&M just to balance it out. I do think I wanted to point this out. I think there's 2 teams in the conference that aren't on this map. The Delaware Blue Hens are in Conference USA in 2020.
Oh, they are? Okay.
And Missouri State Bears.
Oh, that's right. They did get put in. That's right. They came up. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Those 2 teams, I don't expect those 2 to be difference makers by any means. I think a team that in Conference USA you should keep an eye on outside of Louisiana Tech, because I do think Liberty will take a step back. I mean, when you lose a quarterback at that caliber, you're going to take a step back. I really think it's right up the road for me and right down
Sam
the road.
Houston.
It's Sam Houston.
Yes. They were really good last year.
So I think they can make some noise. That's who I would be looking at. The rest of them, I think they're kind of, they beat each other up. I mean, Western Kentucky has been known to light it up, throwing the ball.
Yeah.
But they ain't. I think they've taken a step back once when Petrino was there.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's the weird thing about conferences is like conference play comes around, and even I feel like last year, and I don't know if you would agree with me, but like last year I thought was one of the best football college seasons we had in a while, just overall. Like it almost felt like you couldn't have picked Ohio State to win it when the playoffs started. Like even being like a Texas school, like I knew when they were going to play Ohio State, they were in it, but I had a feeling they were going to lose that game. Like, I mean, you had Oregon in it. You had all these schools. Like, I feel like last year was one of the most like up in the air seasons. Like, you couldn't really predict a winner. It wasn't like Alabama or Georgia. Like, it was never like one of those years where like you knew they were going to win.
Yeah.
And I think this year is going to be the same thing. Not really going to know who for sure is going to win the national championship. But back to this, yeah. I mean, I forgot about Sam Houston because they were really good last year. We had a kid on last year from them. He actually went to Pittsburgh, Texas, right up the road from me, and he graduated. But yeah, they had a really good season last year. They won their bowl game last year as well. I think they won 9 or 10 games. I think I agree with you. I think that they make the step and take over that conference this year. I think it would be a 3-team race, in my opinion, between them, La Tech, and Liberty. And I don't want to forget about little FIU down here all by themselves. No one even, they're down there in the freaking bottom of Florida. But I agree. All these other teams, they just kind of beat up on each other.
Yeah, and you never know with the transfer portal, unless you're in the weeds of this stuff, really what they're going to be, because the top guys leave for bigger universities. I mean,
right.
You mentioned the Liberty QB going to Colorado. I'm sure these other teams had guys transferred, especially once you started putting money in the mix. Oh, I did good at Sam Houston. Oh, I can go to A&M and get a couple, 50, 60, $70,000 extra a year, or maybe six figures, who knows?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just think in today's football landscape, especially when you're talking lower D1 here, it's kind of a crapshoot at some point.
Yeah.
When it comes to knowing what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree, because like the NIL has changed the landscaping of college football like it's never been changed before.
Speaking of that, not to get political, but president put an executive order on that stuff, I think, and
really?
He's starting to write it out. We talked about this on Time Sports Talk on Thursdays. Man, you let this become the Wild Wild West, and now there's starting to be too many cooks in the kitchen that want to put their feather in their hat to say they rein this in. And I was talking Congress at the time.
Yeah, you don't want that.
You don't.
You do not want that, because they'll make it in a way where everyone will hate it.
Yeah,
like hate it. Like don't even want to play hate it.
Yeah, and what we were talking about was these conference, SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12 to a degree. They need to get together and get ahead of this and rein it in, or you're going to have people, as one of my favorite songs would say, rich men north of Richmond are going to get involved. So
they don't want that. I mean, the league doesn't want that. No, they don't want that. I mean, it will almost feel like if that happens, like now the NCAA will have no control over it.
They really never have.
But you're talking about what little control they do have. It will literally go to like the government is going to dictate things within college sports, and that's not the way that the schools want it. And not that and I don't want to get political, but because I don't like to talk about that stuff on the show, but you don't want that to control your school and how it's structured and how they do things. Yeah. You want the schools to do that. And that's where I completely agree, is these conference leaders need to take control and get it fixed on their own, or if not, they will get in control of it and they'll fix it, because I wish I could pull it up right now and tell you how many people are in the transfer portal now just sitting there, because that's how many went in this year. And I
think it was 5,000 football players or something like that.
That's crazy. And how many are still sitting there waiting for a phone call? And by now they're probably not going to get one, because we're only 4 weeks away from the season starting. Right. That's exactly what you said. I like what you said, is the Alabamas and the Georgias are getting all the players from the Sam Houstons and the Law Techs and whoever, because of that success they had at those schools. So they're thinking, I can get more money now, and I can go to these bigger schools and still do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And now these small schools are having to dig into the portal for what's left. And you really can't build a program that way. I know we've talked about this since this started kind of last year, is you saw it early in the season, people in the transfer portal, because they were promised this and they weren't getting this and all these things. And it's ruining it's ruining everything going on for your season. Because let's say you have this quarterback that's the guy, and he didn't get something he felt like he was promised. Oh, I'm in the transfer portal. We're only in week 3. So now you got to bring in your backup, who may not be the best on the team, but you got to do what you have to do. It's really ruining programs the way they're doing it. And that's why I agree. They've got to fix it before the big dogs fix it. And it's not going to be the schools. It's going to be the government. And I don't want it to go that way personally. It doesn't bother me how our government is ran. I'm just saying, I don't want the government to control our schools. Our colleges. And
you don't want that. And, it really has gotten out of control. I mean, you got the team behind your head there, spending over $40 million to put a roster together. Yeah. A&M has done the same thing.
Yes.
Oregon has done it. Ohio State, all these big dogs. And really all they're doing, all these teams we see on the screen right here before we go to the Big 12, they're minor league farm teams for we want to say the college football is the minor leagues of NFL. Well, these teams now are the minor leagues for these bigger programs.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, like LA Tech's a minor league for LSU. Like that's exactly what it is. And yeah. I mean, because like
when we talk about this on a whole scale, right? To me, everyone used to say I would talk to not everyone, but there's a lot of people say I love college football more than the NFL because of the pageantry, the student athlete, the tradition. Man, that's gone.
Yeah.
Like, completely. I mean, the pageantry's still there. And if you have a school that has a winning tradition, that's there. But here you are trying to invest in a season. And if you're if you're one of these teams on the screen, even if you can go to when we talk about the Big 12, you can say the same thing. What players are going to be on the roster next year? Like, you don't want to invest in this. And then, it's really actually sad to see. That's why I think they do need to rein this in. So these teams aren't just farm teams for the bigger teams.
Yep. Because that's exactly what they are. So my final thing on Conference USA, I'm going to pick my conference winner just based off right now. And I think I'm going to agree with you kind of where you are. I'm going to go Sam Houston this year. I think that they are actually may get better than what they were last year, or I don't think they'll be worse. And then I'd probably have LA Tech or Liberty behind them. But I expect Sam Houston. And I think Sam Houston, if they could go undefeated and win it fairly easy, they may have a shot to squeak in depending on how the rest of the field does and how the rest of really how the SEC does. Because ultimately, everything is on the SEC, the Big Ten. That's where it really depends on who really gets in. Who's that one team like, unfortunately, Boise State got what they got last year. They will not be there, obviously, this year again unless they have another Ashton Dempsey 2.0 there.
Right.
So, like, I think Sam Houston has that opportunity to be in that spot. But here's what bothers me the most about this 12, and it's supposed to go to 16 at some point, or is that this year?
It might be next year.
I'm actually good with the 16 because I do feel like one of these teams, like the Sam Houstons of the world, maybe even the not Boise State, but Boise State from last year, like if they get that opportunity to play someone if they don't have to go in playing Texas Longhorns game one, like I want them to have that fair shot. Like, I mean, Texas almost lost to Ohio State. So like, I'm not going to go that route, but I'm talking about this lower tier of the D1s. I want to see a couple of those teams in there that are worthy of it.
I would say, you go to 16 and I think they haven't gone to it now that my memory's starting to work because they haven't decided how it's going to be split up. Like they're talking 4 automatic for Big Ten and SEC plus 1 at large. And
see, I don't like that. Because if you say there's 5 SEC teams that are going to automatically 5 are going to get it, right? That's like the way they put it. Well, that's going to always leave somebody on the outside looking in, no matter how they could be undefeated and still not get in. Like there's a chance of it because of just how good the SEC in particularly is. Like,
I mean, the team that I think the conference winners are automatic, and I actually think if you're talking the top 4 conferences, all right, let's say Big 12, ACC, Big 10, SEC. If you're playing in the conference championship, those 2 teams are automatically in. There's 8. There's half your field, and then you have 8 at large. If you want to do that, I don't know. I think the 4 conference winners should automatically be in, and then the rest be at large. Personally, or maybe guarantee. It's just it's an interesting debate. But the 2 big SEC, Big Ten, and the other conferences, they can't agree just yet on how they want to structure it.
Right.
So that's why we haven't gone to 16 teams yet, but that's coming. And I agree with you. I think it'll be a good thing for, like you had UCF a few years ago go undefeated, and they were trying to say they were national champions or some BS like that. But
which was crazy. But yeah, crazy. Well, man, let's talk about the Big 12.
Big Tizzle.
I mean, man, this conference to me was weird last year, and like you had like Kansas was atrocious, and they are always like can be good. But you had some really good teams last year. I thought that kind of they did better than expected. Like Texas Tech was good. Baylor came on at the end. I mean, Arizona State was good.
Well, they were in the playoff.
Yeah. They were in the playoffs. They were good.
Which I do believe before the season they were picked to come in dead last year.
Yeah, they were. They were expected to win like I think 3 games last year. And they won the conference. So BYU had a good year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the one for me that was probably the most disappointing was Utah, but that's because Cam Rising has played 15 years there or how long ever he's played in NCAA, and I think he's coming back one more year. I don't know how many eligibility years he has left, but by the time he gets done playing, if he wants to adventure to the NFL, he will be a veteran instantly because he's going to be 30 by the time he gets there. But I think he's coming back for another year because I swear he gets injured every year, and he just continues to come back. I don't know if he'll ever give it up. Like I said, he
like
will go
Jason White for Oklahoma back in the day.
Yeah, Colorado. I'm curious to see what they do this year because I mean, obviously, you lose what they consider 2 of the best players that's ever came through, and Shador and Travis Hunter. So, what is that quarterback room? What's that? Who's going to be your starter? Because they had that number 1 recruit come in that no one expected him to go there. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he went there. He will be competing with Caden Slater, but I would expect Caden Slater just because of his tenure. I think this is his last year of eligibility. I expect him to be their starter. I'm curious to see, does Colorado finally do they ever get a run game? It's so surprising to me that the Colorado has never had a run game yet. I don't know why. I think it got a little better last year, but there's something weird going on there. I think it was because Shador was there, so maybe the run game wasn't as big of a focus. They were just relying on him and Travis Hunter to carry the offense wherever it went. But I'm curious to see how Colorado does this year. They had a good season last year, but then they got murdered by BYU in their bowl game, which was surprising to me. Arizona State, do they continue that success? They lose Cam Scattaboo, and then they lost their number 1 wide receiver. They both went to the draft. They do have the quarterback who was really good for them last year. So I'm kind of curious to see where that team goes. I love that young coach there. He's a crazy man, but I love it. He is an absolute madman. Yeah. But I love it. Curious to see what they're going to do. Arizona is going to be Arizona. They'll be there in the middle of the pack, I think, still. I mean, I don't really think they're going to be a top dog. Texas Tech, again, I mentioned they had a really good year, considering what most didn't have them there. Curious with all the Texas teams too, like TCU. I'm kind of ready for them to have a bounce back year. They hadn't been good since that national championship run that they did, which turned out to be miserable. The year was great, but playing Georgia and got clobbered in pretty much the first quarter, and it was over. Do they finally get better? Baylor, I think, is up on the up. I think they're starting to get better in the Big 12. They haven't been good in a while. Houston's another interesting school for me, and you're from the area. So I'm curious to see, I feel like they have the athletes in Houston or the players to be good. To me, I think it's the style of how they do it. Do you watch the Houston Cougars at all? I mean, do you keep up with them?
No.
Okay.
Just, I mean, I know that, there's a lot of hype. They also have the best throwback jerseys out there because they're based on the Houston Oilers, or used to be Houston Oilers. They definitely have the athletes at Houston. That's never an issue. It's just one of the schools that seem to never put it together. And and you mentioned the Colorado and the run game. Look at these teams, and other than Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State,
Mm-hmm.
LaDainian Tomlinson at TCU. And we're going back in the vault on those names. Name me a running back for any of these other teams that ever made an impact.
I mean, I think the biggest one was probably Cam Scadaboo last year.
That was last year.
Yeah, so, that was just last year. I mean, yeah, I mean, well, you know what? I say that, but Ohio State was supposed to have the best running back, Heisman running back last year, and he was a complete no-show for them last year. Like
I'm just saying traditionally, you mentioned like this isn't traditionally running back you on the screen here.
No, I would agree.
And I think part of that is for me, Utah, BYU, Colorado, to me, part of that may be the altitude. Now, you say that, you kind of look at, if you want to switch to the NFL, you know, Denver Broncos and Terrell Davis and Quentin Portis back in the day. You know, they've had some guys in Denver professionally, but man, you go down this list of teams. Other than the two I named, and Scadaboo, just because he was last year, dude, I can't name a running back.
I can't either. Like I think not last year, maybe not even the year before, but Kansas had a pretty good one not that long ago.
I mean, I know Deuce Vaughn because he's on the Cowboys.
Yeah, he was at Kansas State,
but yeah, just like he wasn't like a transformative running back.
No, it wasn't. He was just really small and really quick.
Yeah, which you can't even get on the field for the Cowboys and a terrible running back. Different subject, different day. So it's just interesting. But like when you think of quarterbacks,
they're all over.
These teams are passing teams. They're I would say more finesse teams. You know, West Virginia, I believe you got Geno Smith. You know, U of H. You know, did Andre Ware go to U of H?
Yes, he did. And speaking of UCF, when that year they were good, they had that quarterback. I can't think of his name, but he was really big. He was like 6'8", like that really big quarterback they had. I can't think of his name. I think he's in the NFL, but I think he's like, you know, down there. Like he's like third on the depth chart. Maybe
Brock Osweiler.
No. This was just that year that they were good.
Well, that was like 10 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't like 2 years ago. It was a while back. You can Google that one. I bet you it's pre-2015.
Let me look. I thought maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was longer than that.
But Iowa State, you got Seneca Wallace, Colorado, obviously, you know, Cordell Stewart, Utah, Alex Smith, BYU, and I'm sure there's someone in there. You know, Texas Tech obviously has a litany of prolific quarterbacks.
It was 2017.
Okay, I jumped the gun on the 2015 thing, but it was close. Still 8 years ago.
Right. Yeah, no, it was close. I'm looking at the quarterback is who I'm looking at here. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not seeing the quarterback on here, but yeah, I mean, you know, I say the running back stuff for these teams, but I think Casey, when you think about just the way college football is in general, and especially in college, and really it's generated. This NFL is the same way, and I think the NFL is starting to like really realize what the running back game is. The running back rooms are coming back to life.
According to AI, the quarterback's name was Mackenzie Milton.
Okay.
For UCF.
Okay.
Mackenzie Milton.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else then. But yeah, I just don't think these schools are you know, super run heavy. You know, they you know, I think Oklahoma City is probably one of the ones that is run heavy. They used to be. Like I said, they had the projected Heisman winner last year, and well, he was an absolute no-show for them all year. But another interesting team on this map here for the Big 12 is Kansas State for me. They have quarterback Avery Johnson there, who is really good he's really good passer and run game. Kind of see where they go this year. Do they finally like? It's like they would beat the teams they were supposed to beat, and they couldn't and then they would beat a few of the teams they should, and then they would drop the ball against like the BYUs or even like a Baylor team. So I'm kind of curious to see what they do. I feel like the Big 12 outside of Arizona State, because I would expect them to be as good as last year, to see which team might give them an actual challenge. Like, because like I remember, if I'm correct, at the last game of the season to make it matter, it was like Arizona State, Colorado, Kansas State, BYU, and I think even Texas Tech. Like there was like a tie at one point, so there was like a 5-team race for this had to happen, and obviously it ended up going the way it went. And if I remember right, I don't know. I think Arizona State won the conference or BYU. I can't remember.
No, they won. And BYU actually came in third. There was a 4-way tie at 7-2 last year with Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU, and Colorado, followed by 3 teams at 6-3: Baylor, TCU, and Texas Tech. So that's how it ended up. And then I think Arizona State won the Big 12 conference game. So, and that's what got them.
Oh, that's right. They won the conference game. That is right. So yeah, I'm curious to see. I think West Virginia is going to be West Virginia. They'll probably be around 500. Cincinnati, I mean, I don't even know when the last time they were actually relevant. Maybe when
they went to the college football playoff a few years ago.
Yeah, they had the guy that went to Atlanta, Ritter. Desmond.
Ritter.
Yeah, that's when they had Ritter. So yeah, they were pretty good when he was there. He was a pretty good quarterback.
They went undefeated. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah. I'm curious to see what Kansas does this year. They were pretty disappointing last year, I would say. They really just didn't do nothing, and they did beat a few teams kind of at the end of the season. They kind of did what Florida did last year. They were terrible up until the end of the season, then they start winning games. Oklahoma State was another disappointing team. They have the Mullet Man, I think, is actually still there.
Disappointing. They went 0-9, man.
Well, I'm trying to give
conference play. They went.
I'm trying to give them a little love. That's why I'm giving them just disappointing.
It's disaster.
I'm trying to make this out as bad.
Oh man! So I was gonna key on 3 teams on here, and Oklahoma State was one of them. Does Gundy turn it around? And if he doesn't, is he gone?
Well, a lot of people said that. A lot of people thought he was going to be gone this year. Like that was it for him. They were thinking just retire, be done. Like he's done great things there. He's produced NFL talent out of that school. Was last year kind of like the end of the road for him, and people were saying maybe he should leave and go elsewhere. I didn't see him doing that because he has bled that team for a long time. I mean, he's been there for so long. I think he came back on another 1-year deal, if I'm correct. I think he gives it another shot. I think he does turn it around. I just don't know if it's going to be good enough to compete with the Arizona States, I'm even going to go BYU, Colorado, maybe Utah, depending on if Cam Rising is going to be healthy enough. Because when he's healthy, he's an actually really good quarterback. Well, he should be. He's been playing for 15 seasons in college, so he should be.
Well, I'm going to say this about Oklahoma State. They're not going to turn it around until Mike Gundy cuts his hair. He's got to get rid of the mullet.
You think the mullet's a curse now?
I think it is not only a bad look for him. Some people pull it off very well, but Mike Gundy does not pull off the mullet well. And until he does it, it's good. It's cursed the program. I would say that. The second team I was looking at is the team I cheered for before I started attending Texas A&M is TCU. Went 6-3 last year. They have been a good program. Patterson, while he was there, turned that program around. And then they went to the college football playoff a few years ago, and then they graduated everyone. That was a team that built year after year after year, which you don't really see very much in college football anymore. So 6-3 last year. I'm interested to see if they make the jump to the top, back to the top of the conference. And you mentioned it, Utah. And me and my pops on our show talked about college football rankings. I think I found it on one of the websites. They had Utah in the like the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. They had Penn State number 1. And then I think they had Texas 2 and so on and so forth. But I was surprised to see Utah as high as they were. But I know Utah was predicted to do really, really well last year. And I mean, if I take a gander at it, they went 2-7 in their conference and 5-7 overall. So,
yep.
You know, and UFC is, or not UFC, UCF is, I think, you know, down there in Florida by themselves, just like our last conference.
Just down there by themselves.
Like, Florida has the athletes, just like Houston does. It's just whether you put it together or not. And I think teams like UCF, and we talked about this with Conference USA a little bit. I think these teams that are lower level, they're Division I programs with lower level Division I, they get picked off of these other programs that got more money to spend. And so, you know, I think it's interesting until you get some guys that buy into, we're going to build something here. It's really hard to compete on that level. But and you know, we kind of went away from the talked about the run game, but it will be interesting to see what Dion does. You know, Dion's a lightning rod at Colorado, and how the quarterback situation plays out, and can they win? Like, by the way, Shedeur Sanders is not the best quarterback in Colorado history. That would be Cordell Stewart.
I agree.
And so I do think Travis Hunter is probably the best player to ever go through Colorado football. I would agree with that. But, you know, it just, you know, they go 7-2. They don't win a bowl game in the conference, I should say. They went 9-4 overall.
Right.
You know, and can't, you know. So I just, it's an interesting conference. BYU is always solid because they, for the most part, but BYU lost their quarterback.
They did.
He transferred because he decided to get busy, or accused of getting busy. Those charges were dropped, but apparently had, you know, BYU Mormons, you can't have premarital sex, and that's why he got in trouble for it. So, not knocking it. Hey, more power to you if you can do it.
Can't do it at BYU.
Can't do it at BYU. You know? So no doing at BYU.
BYU is always an interesting team to me, and the same way in basketball. They're like interesting in basketball as well. They're like you don't like when you try not to judge a book by its cover, okay? But when you look at BYU, I don't think like sports. Kind of like how TCU used to be that way.
Right.
Like you don't think sports, you think academics mostly, or you know, depending on what you're going there for, they are Christian-based schools, so that stuff like that. But BYU was a really surprising team last year to me because they did so well. Like I said, at one point, I think one say 1 week, but I think at one point they were. You said there was that 4-team race at some point where like every week it was one of those teams up top because one of them lost and then they'd all go winning. I think this conference really is kind of wide open, like outside of Arizona State, but we really don't know what Arizona State is going to do. Like, yes, the quarterback is good, but like you did lose Cam Scatteraboo, and like Cam Scatteraboo was the engine of that team. Like he was what he was. Like they almost beat Texas, and people claim they should have beaten Texas in that game. Like, and so, like, I'm curious to see, like, I'm almost to the point where, like, I really do feel like this conference, there's you could say a 4 to 5 team race, and it really is wide open.
And one of the teams at the top, we ain't even mentioned, and I kind of just, they just kind of go under the radar, is Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State's another one.
They went 11-3 last year, 7-2 in the conference. And, you know, that they are always – they're always a hard team to play, especially at home. So,
every year when Texas was in the Big 12, I was like, Iowa State was always a team that I was always worried about playing because they always found a way to beat Texas. Like, I don't know what it was. Brock Purdy did go there.
Yeah, he did go.
He sure did, yeah. So,
They always seem them in Iowa always seem to like just wreck someone's year.
And Iowa's always a surprising team too, which is they're the Big Ten, which we would break that down at some point. But they're always a surprising team too to beat people, which they've had. They're another team that had they had, in my opinion, one of the, if not the best running back in the draft last year in Johnson. Like, he was really good. Like, that's who I wanted the Cowboys to swing and get at some point if they could, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, this conference I think is wide open. But I'm going to give you my prediction on who could win this.
Hit the masses with it.
I'm gonna kind of go crazy here. Texas Tech.
Oh,
give me Texas Tech this year. I don't know. I feel like they had such a good year. I think they're going to build on it. I feel like it's going to be. I'm really uncertain about Colorado. Maybe not the quarterback, because Shador was great. Like, he was a good quarterback, but he had Travis Hunter. But like, what weapons do they have now? I guarantee you, there's no Travis Hunter offensively for them.
No,
I just don't see it. I'm curious about the defense. Our defense has always been not very good, even with Dion there, which has been surprising. But obviously, I know he's had to try to build. Like, it's only going in year 3, so like he's starting to get his own recruits right. So like, I get that, but like, I don't really know about them. Utah, Cam Rising should be the best quarterback in this conference because he's been there for 15 years, like in college. So, but I question his health because he gets hurt like every year. If I'm Utah, I would have went and found the best quarterback I could find in the nation, whether it's portal or college, to make sure I had someone on the back end. That way our season isn't going to go it won't go the wrong way because he gets hurt. I know that sounds what it sounds like, but like, that's the way I would go. And then Kansas State, I don't know. Avery Johnson's great, but I don't know what they're going to do. Oklahoma State again. I don't know if the Gundy, him being there, is going to really affect them. I don't know if they're going to get that much better if they have a better season. And then Iowa State. I mean, again, they're good. They always tend to be good in the conference. They went 11-3, but I'm going to go with Texas Tech this year for the Big 12. I think they're going to surprise the Big 12.
I'm going to pick prime Iowa State. I'm not going prime. I'm going Iowa State. I think their record or their schedule sets up well for them. They come out the gate, rivalry game, Kansas State week 1. Yeah. Then they got South Dakota. I'm sorry. I was thinking Kansas State. They do have a Big 12 game first week. But Iowa week 3, I think if they get Kansas State and Iowa, they could run the table and be in the college football playoff potentially.
Yeah.
Because then they play at Colorado. They have BYU at home. And their biggest test after that would be at TCU.
And I'm sitting here looking at Texas Tech's schedule to kind of get an idea. I mean, they start off the Big 12 strong. Utah, first Big 12 game. So we'll really see like how good they are and how good Utah is. I mean, they actually have, their schedule is kind of what it is. I mean, then they have Houston, Kansas, then they got Arizona State. I mean, they're in the middle of the season starting in October. They got Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, BYU.
Where do they play Arizona State?
They play in Arizona State.
Yeah, so Iowa State has Arizona State at home. So
that's going to be a tough. So yeah, that's kind of where I am on this conference. I think it's going to be a great conference this year for these schools, and I'm excited, man. Football is around the corner. I'm excited for it. One more thing before we end and make our announcement. I saw this pop up, and this is something, again, I didn't even mention to you because I just thought about it as we've been doing the show. Have you been seeing on TikTok of this Georgia commit and everything he's gotten himself into? Have you seen that?
Nah, no.
Okay.
I was gonna watch that, and then I just went on living my life.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple videos now. Again, it's one of those scenarios where you do something stupid. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's actually 2 different scenarios. I don't want to mention the kid's name. I don't want to disrespect him. I'm not going to call him guilty, but if I'm correct, one of them's a murder investigation, and then one of them is an assault. Two different things. I hope it's untrue. I hate when these kids think that they're high on life, and meaning you can do whatever you want and get away with it. And this happens. In 2025, you can't get away with nothing. There's too many eyes, ears, phones, etc. out there. Social media is too big for that now. You can't get away with doing anything.
So
I mean,
is the kid in high school or is he already at Georgia?
No, he was committed to Georgia, and I mean, I'm assuming he was on his way. Obviously, he was going to be there this coming up year, and got in trouble. It's all came to life. Georgia actually hasn't commented on it. They are not commenting on it yet. I guess until they know the facts, which I mean that's fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But what I want to say about it is like I don't understand why the kids think they can do whatever they want as they please.
That's man, that's the entitlement. That's a deep question or to ask. I think a lot of kids think they're untouchable. Not to end the show on a sad note by any means, but like there was I think 4 teenagers that like stole a car from a lady, an older grandma, and like drug her for 3 blocks, and she died. And they're like laughing and dancing in the courtroom, thinking they're not going to get sentenced. There's a lot of entitlement, coming just from high school teaching and coaching. Kids walking around, not even high level athlete kids. It's like on just the average kid has a level of entitlement now.
Yep.
And it's sad to see a kid who obviously has talent. If he committed to go to Georgia, has immense amount of talent. Potentially, innocent until found guilty. Potentially lose out on a prosperous life to potentially set up his family for generations. Because of whether it's wrong place, wrong time, wrong people, or whether it was he was directly involved. We don't know, but it's sad to see so many times of wasted talent, and
it happens a lot, man.
It does.
And in professional sports, it ain't just that, but in a lot of sports, I mean, you see it all the time. Like Ben McLemore, who played in Sacramento, everything that's happened with him. Now you're going to jail. Like, I don't understand. And like the betting with the who was that just had the betting scandal going on? I can't. He had his name on Twitter, or his handle on the DraftKings was like his name. Like I can't give who it just happened. Like
which sport?
I think it was NBA.
We talked about it on the show.
I can't think of his name, but like there's some people I just don't understand. Like when it comes to that level, like when you're in the professional level, not to get off like what we were talking about, but it's like I think these people think they have all the money in the world, they can literally do whatever, and they're never going to get in trouble. Like I think that's the way they look at it. Like for one, like the betting thing, like why are you even betting? You don't even like if you want to blow your money, I can give you my address, my PayPal, my Venmo. Like you can send me if you want to blow it on betting, send it to me. I'll bet for you.
Right.
Like, I don't get it, man. Like you have this opportunity to not just like take care of yourself, but take care of your kids, your family, your grandmothers, and etc. And you blow it away for betting on professional sports, knowing it's illegal where you're at. And then not only that, you're not even like trying to hide it. Your name is on your handle for the whatever you're betting on.
Oh, that was Malik Beasley.
There you go, Malik Beasley. Like I don't get it, man. I don't get why these athletes, these kids do things to like you're setting yourself up. And you just make that one small mistake. And like I said, nowadays you can't get away with things. Like somebody is there to, whether it's see it, record it, post it, because it's how the world is nowadays. Everything doesn't go unnoticed now. You can't get away with nothing. Like I don't know, man. I don't get it. I hate it for the kids, especially the younger ones, but I hate it for the men that are doing well in their life and they make that one wrong choice and your whole sports career, everything in your life is just shattered.
Yeah. And, I mean, and like one decision. I mean, like Lim Bias and you know, a lot of people thought he could have been, you know, on the level of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Or even better, you know, overdoses. I think it was cocaine.
Yep.
And you know, it's just crazy to see that you talk about, you know, talent. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with street ball, but in Rucker Park, but Pee Wee Kirkland turned down NBA contracts because he says he makes more money selling drugs. You know, and that was I think in the 80s. You know, some at that.
I'm trying to think of that other one. Remember, you probably know this in the NBA. They pulled out guns in the locker room. Who was the two?
Oh, that was Jarvis Crittenton.
Because I just
actually
watched
on Netflix. There's a whole documentary on it.
I just watched it like not that long ago because like I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
like I remember Gilbert Arenas. I remember him in Washington and stuff. I didn't realize anything happened with him, and I watched it and I was really surprised. For one, that Crittenton kid was actually really good.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
He was he could have been really good. And what blew my mind is what sucked for him. It wasn't just that. Another thing happened outside of that after that happened, and that really just ended him overall. But like, I don't know why you think. I mean, that's just two people being alpha males saying I'm better than you. It was over playing poker on the plane. That's what it was over. And I just don't get it, man. If I was in their position, if someone's like, "Hey, you owe me $15,000, dude, I make millions, dude. Here's a 15, like whatever." I'm not gonna fight you over that. I'm not gonna pull a gun or say, "Hey, let's bring guns and let's see who's willing to pull the." That's just, to me, I just don't understand that. It's just
it's
You think it's the way they're brought up? Like I'm going to always say
I mean, I was going to say I think there is a cultural thing there potentially that I think we probably need someone else to speak on. But you know, in a more recent example, you see the stuff happening with Ja Morant.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's another one.
He wasn't learning his lesson, and and then he wants to do the gun symbols, the sniper symbols,
the grenade
the game, and then he gets fined, and then I thought he should probably got fined again or suspended for doing the grenade thing. You know, but I don't think he got suspended for that. I know a lot of the mainstream sports programs were downplaying it. Like they're like, "Oh, it's like kind of a funny way to respond or whatever." I'm like, nah. When you've been around people who've been in war and around grenades, that's not funny,
right?
And so there is a level of cultural part of it, unfortunately. But you know, it's a shift in society of like, oh, you know, no, we don't. I'll say this: we don't settle disputes what I would consider the old school way of.
No,
you know, even when I joined the Navy in 2004, you couldn't go out back with the boxing gloves anymore and settle it, and then it was done.
Right?
You know, no, you had to submit a complaint card or some bullshit. Pardon my language.
I don't care.
You're the more kid-friendly, family-friendly program. You know, if I was on the Crew Talk, I would not hesitate. Hey. Our show. Trying to clean it up. I may have an audition here soon. But
yeah, you need to work on that, Casey.
Yeah, well, I've spent my whole last year in the Navy working on my speech patterns because I knew I was going into teaching at the time. You know, I won't even say how we greet each other in the Navy on here. So, got to follow those FCC license at some point.
Right. Well, one last thing before I announce, I just want to make one statement. The Rangers are 14-2 over the last 16. It's about time. We'll end on this on talking sports. do you think they have turned it around and potentially could make a run for this thing and win the division?
Obviously, you're not watching our show, Dustin. Yes, I do think this. You act like you're busy and have a family and multiple kids. Yeah. Okay, I mean, you just be sitting watching around on Time Sports Talk on a loop on your TV all day long.
I know. I need to start watching more. I need to.
I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, I do think they're going on a run, and I said this on our show is, man, you think about one, they have the best ERA in the major leagues on the year. I think they're fourth in stolen bases. There's another pitcher category. I think they're first or second. If they get in the playoffs, you got to go against DeGrom,
who's had a heck of a year.
He's had a hell of a year.
One of the best years he's had in a while.
Yeah, yes. He's up there for the Cy Young. You have DeGrom, you have Eovaldi, and Jack Leiter, who's throwing 100 now.
Yes.
So you got to go through those three guys, and this is the odd year. Like if you look back at Bruce Bochy and San Francisco when they're winning championship, they win every other year, and in between those years, they wouldn't make the playoffs. So. It just kind of his pattern on how he wins World Series.
Yeah.
I think they went from sellers at the deadline to buyers. I'm interested to see if they do add anything. But if you look the first 3 or 4 months of the season, I mean, their offense was not just – it was historically bad almost.
Yeah, it was.
And you get these guys to start playing up to their average capabilities – you're seeing the result of it now.
Yes.
So they're going to go on a run, and if they get in the last month, I think they've gained 6 games on the Astros.
Yes.
And Seattle's in a free fall.
Yeah. They're I think they're 5 behind after that win today.
Yeah. Of the Astros, right?
Yeah, behind the Astros. Yeah,
I think they're a half game now behind Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
So the Rangers have turned it around. I think they're going to make noise if they get in the playoffs. I think they're going to be a hard out, and Seager is starting to show why he gets paid $35 million a year. He's turned back into the Corey Seager that we all love and other teams fear. So
same with Marcus Semien. I think he's kind of came on too. Like what I've noticed over this stretch of winning is I feel like before this, it was our pitching was good and our bats were bad, our pitching was subpar. I think they're finally putting it all together in the games. Like we're getting them both. We're actually getting what we want from the Rangers. And I don't know how your thoughts are, but I think if we can go find I know Eovaldi can come in and close if he wants, or he can start. I think this year he's started more than he kind of when he came in, he was more of a closer. Like end of the inning kind of person. I think they should go find like an elite closer, like an elite. Because I think DeGrom, Eovaldi, and the other guy you mentioned, I think that's who your starting core should be. Those 3 guys, especially going in if we make the playoffs. Like those need to be the ones that are there starting the games off. I just think we need to find that elite closer, and once we get that. Because there's going to be some games where they're going to be close. I mean, it's going to happen. It's baseball. They're finally putting it together. I'm hoping they keep it up. I do not want Houston to make the playoffs, period, because I said that they wouldn't even make the playoffs this year. And so I'm disappointed they're there because that's just the way I picked. I mean, Houston's always going to be Houston with Altuve still playing and all those guys over there. But excited to see how the Rangers finish. We're getting down the stretch, second half of the season, and they're starting off the second half phenomenally, and I hope they continue to do it. Well, man, I'm excited about this. This is our big announcement. This is for the network, not just for me. This is for everybody. Woo! I do have a video to play. It's a 20-second video to introduce these people. I'm excited for them. They're joining our network, another show on the network. That would put us at 7 now. I'm super excited about it. So with that being said, I'm going to play the video. we have
trademarked again. We're gonna get trademarked again.
Nah, it didn't cut us off. This ain't Dana White.
Man. So they're obviously talking wrestling.
Yes.
Smack Talk, Saturday Smack Talk. Man, that's good stuff. I grew up in the heyday, what I consider the best era of wrestling.
Yes.
Monday Night Wars, the Attitude Era, DX, Stone Cold, The Rock, NWO Wolfpack, the Nation, just all, to me the best era of
yeah. I'm excited for Nick and Josh to join us. They're awesome guys. They're excited to join us too. They will be on Saturdays. Every Saturday is when they plan on doing their live shows under the Tire Sports Network. We've known this for a while. They were just Nick actually he was moving, so he wanted to get settled in and where he was moving to. So starting on Saturdays, this coming up Saturday, August 2nd, Saturday Smack Talk will be on Saturdays. So be here this Saturday. Everyone support them on their first show. Once we find out for sure, we don't know the time yet, but once we find out their time, we're going to boost it out. Come here and support them on Saturday. They're excited. They do, like I said, mostly WWE wrestling stuff, but they do venture out in some football and some basketball, WNBA stuff. So yeah, we're super excited. Josh and Nick, if you're watching, appreciate y'all for deciding to come and join our network. We're super excited about it and excited for what y'all are going to bring to the table. And with that being said, Casey, anything you'd like to say before we hop off here?
I want to throw this scenario out for our new show. Who wins in a WWE wrestling match between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? That is the question of the week. I'll let y'all stew on that. But no, man, I'm glad I was able to fill in. I know we talked and probably be here Wednesday if you're doing the Wednesday show. And obviously me and the Pops will be on Thursday, 7 p.m. on Time Sports Talk, OTST. And I believe good old JJ is going to be on the show.
Okay.
Justifying his idiotic comments he did at the State of the Cowboys. Manager B. Boach will be in the house because they are on fire. We got to get what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So I think those are our two guests that we're going to have. So, it's been interesting and excited about the new show and all the shows we've added, and check them all out.
Yes.
If you're watching, comment on them. I believe every show loves interacting with the fans live, with the listeners or watchers live, and if anyone has to go solo, that makes you feel like you're not alone on the planet. So
yes, definitely.
So man. But I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me. By the way, after we are done tonight, the Pints and Parlays will be going live. They had to change their time this week, so expect right after we get off, sometime in the next 20 to 30 minutes, they will be live on the Tire Sports Network, so be here to support them. Recognized Game has been having to take a break. Evan's been going through some stuff with his he had electricity literally blow things up in his house. Not literally blow them up, but it just knocked out. Yeah. So that's why Recognized Game hasn't been going live. But I spoke with him today, and they're going to should be good for next Sunday. So just be here next Sunday for those guys. Support them. Obviously, Crew Talk tomorrow. Mac has been going through some stuff as well personally. So I think she's expected to come back this week. So be here probably this week, Monday, Tuesday. Support Mac, the Mac Truck Show. She'll be live going back again on the Tire Sports Network. Obviously, Bearded Bro. I'm gonna say Bearded Bro. Well, Bearded Bros. Whoever. Most of the people I feel like I could have on have beards, so I'm not changing it. Bearded Bros are here to stay. But be here Wednesday with me, and it could be Casey or potentially someone else. I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured it out, but I will be here Wednesday as well to break down. We are doing I don't know yet. It's going to be the NFL divisions. We did the AFC, NFC North last week, so we're going to see. I'm going to have to figure out. We'll do probably we're going to do the East last because of the Cowboys. I want to do them last. So we'll do another couple divisions this Wednesday as well, and we'll talk about anything else going on in some sports then. No guests this Wednesday, but we do have some guests coming up. One August 3rd, which is next Sunday, I believe. A lady, she plays Kennesaw State. She plays basketball, so she will be coming on and hanging out with us and just telling us her journey. And I have potentially one more lined up that was kind of already lined up, and I'm talking with him about August 6th. So, yeah, so be here for that. Obviously, On Time Sports on Thursday. And then obviously the new show this coming up Saturday. So we appreciate all the love and support from everyone. And again, Casey, thank you for being here.
Yeah, and don't forget about the Philly show too. We didn't mention them.
Sorry, Sean. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, even though your boy still ducks every network show, unless he's in his bed.
By the way, I do want to say that I didn't even think about the network show because we need to do one. Obviously, there's been a lot of things going on recently. There will be a network show soon where I'm trying to wait for everyone that has the opportunity to be here. So I'm kind of waiting to make sure everyone is able to go live again. That way, I want to try to have at least one person on here from every show, if not everyone. That would be awesome too. So a network show, it will be soon, and there will be plenty to talk about.
And I'll just say, if you need to call in the network MVP for Wednesday, the network MVP will be here for you.
Got you.
I can take care of it. So.
Yeah, like I said, man, some things have changed with the Bearded Bros, but I am looking for hopefully a permanent co-host. I have some people in mind, so I'm going to be, I wouldn't say interviewing, but trying to figure out what they're wanting to do. If they're wanting to be.
So what you just did, you answered Steve's question in the comments that he commented like an hour ago. If you guys can, we didn't put it on the screen, but he's like, are you still looking for a co-host? I'm not the permanent co-host, even though it wouldn't be a bad choice, but I'm already committed. So I can't.
You're welcome. You're welcome anytime, and you have your own show. I'm not going to take you away from yours. I appreciate you being on here. How many ever more times I want you on. I wish I could have you all the time. I wish to have you and your dad on every time because y'all are just hilarious. I would just sit here and let y'all talk. I wouldn't even do nothing. I would just let y'all talk.
It would literally be the Bearded Bros podcast watch party of the On Time Sports Talk.
Yes, that's exactly what it would be. It would be a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun. I was telling Linda about this. I know we got the new show coming up here soon, but I was telling this, like, each show does have a different vibe to it. So, On Time might not be your cup of tea. We're more comedic. We like to have a lot of fun. It's father-son dynamic. We go at each other a little bit, probably other than some of the other shows, even though, I think some of those shows are a little more friendly to each other. We roast each other a lot on our show. So we definitely have the comedic aspect. I think we're the only ones who do any character work. So
yeah, I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all show was awesome. I love the comedic work. I mean, I think that's the vision for me with our network, is having every show being different in every aspect. And that's why I decided to bring on the Saturday Smack Talk, because again, it's a different aspect. For one, it's a whole.
Do they dress up? Do they dress up in wrestling?
I don't know, but I am going to talk to Nick and Josh and see if we can get some like characters going. Like, I feel like they have some stuff that they could do.
I feel like they should have like their own wrestling character as their partner. Like,
you know what? That's a great question.
I'm just throwing it out there. I know Nick was watching the beginning of the show. I don't know if he's still watching now, but and I was going to say, like, I know the Philly show, sorry in advance, they're really deep in the weeds in baseball and kind of get more numbers wise and stuff. They get into that if that's your thing. And so like there's a little bit of everything on the network for everybody. So, if you can't find it on this one, you'll probably find it on another one. So
yep, like I said, we are officially live now 7 days a week, starting this week. 7 days a week, some days, multiple days. So
TND, take no days off, baby.
No days.
TND.
That was the goal when we started this, was to have a show on every day, to try to grow the network. And so that's what we've done. And we, by the way, I think with the network show, I think I am going to do it around the year mark of just this whole thing. So that's the plan now that I'm thinking about it, which is like mid-August. So we'll plan it out. That gives everyone more time to make sure that they're back going live with some of these that haven't been able to with personal things going on. So we're going to shoot for mid-August, which is really unique. We haven't done that in the past. It's always been usually at the end or the very beginning. But I'll plan it out, making sure everyone that can be here or wants to be here can be. So just be ready. We're looking forward for that mid-August network the year mark on starting this. So we're super excited about it.
You hear that, Philly show?
You start
planning now.
You haven't advanced on when it's happening.
Literally, and we're not sorry for the advance either.
No, we're not sorry.
But the last thing I got to say is go Navy and go Aggies. That's the last.
Horns. Let's go. It's our season.
Can't do it.
Hey, by the way, I have to say, did you catch?
You're about to hit the end stream button.
No. I got one more thing. Did you see the end of mine and Derek's last show together? The bet he proposed.
I did not.
Okay. Well, his proposal to me was, if the Aggies beat the Longhorns this year, I have to become an official Aggie fan and vice versa.
That's a terrible bet.
And I told him,
you don't take someone's fandom.
Oh, no. I was all in. I was like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, you don't think about it? No, I'm good. Let's do it. I'm down. I have complete faith.
Which y'all should. The bet should be. I didn't know. I know you like tattoos. I don't know if Derek does or did. But I was going to say, y'all should have bet you had to put the other team's emblem on you.
He wouldn't have got a tattoo.
I know. It's like you.
But I would have easily done it. I have some spaces here just waiting to get filled. So
the big T and A and M would look really good right there. But I'm also not dumb enough to bet getting tatted on something.
I don't know if I would do it sports related, because that's especially like right now. Like, I would maybe do it the week of the game, maybe see where both teams are, but I wouldn't make a bet on that.
Yeah,
but let's just say the next
Manning could tear his ACL and
don't do it.
Not wishing that. I'm not wishing
AC,
that.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
I'm
please.
not wishing that.
Don't do
but
that.
If your big dog gets hurt, that changes the whole dynamic. Yeah,
it does. All right, guys. Appreciate everyone being here, showing love. Casey with On Time Sports, Dustin Bearded Bros on Tire Sports Network. We'll be back here Wednesday, and we'll see you then.
Peace.